Hello there guys, and welcome back to another Pilot 194 video. And as you can see from the title, I'm sure that this is weirdly enough, is my 100th video that I've recorded on this channel. So I'm here today. I'm on the flight deck of Alpha 5 Romeo Golf Golf, which is an Airbus A319 of the Dirk Air of Bhutan, and I'm flying into Bhutan's only international airport at Paro, doing the visual approach into runway 15. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's a very dangerous approach, very difficult as well. If you know anything about the country of Bhutan, it is in the Himalayan area, so there's lots of mountains, and Paro is no exception to that. Although Paro is like I already mentioned, is the only international airport in the country, it does receive a good handful of daily flights on Airbus's A319s from two airlines, Dirk Air and also I think it's called the Bhutan Airlines, which was the first airline to be introduced apart from this state-run airline. So, like I said, I am on the flight deck of Alpha 5 Romeo Golf Golf, and we are descending, heading towards our final checkpoint, which is at Tango Alpha Kilo Tango India. So our approach will be a non-precision approach and is a fully visual approach, and will be flown manually by myself. So we're going to set up, we've already set up the performance pages for our landing, and so we will also set some fixed points. So we'll go to our flight plan. We'll go to the Paro VFR. We'll set some fixed information on the Paro VFR. So we'll go Paro. We want a radial on this one at 328, as we'll make a turn once we hit the VOR to 328, and of a distance of 1 miles radius. So we'll also set a second one for Paro. No radial this time, but a 5 mile radius. This 5 mile radius, fix will be our decision. So we'll make our decision at 12,500 feet above sea level, at 5 DME from the VOR. And by that point, which is 5 miles, like I've already put in the fixed, 5 miles from the VOR, if we don't see the runway, then we have to go around and head to our alternative. So I am coming in from the west today. I've come from Kathmandu, which is a very common flight for Dirk Air, and we'll be flying into Paro Runway 15. So I hope you guys enjoy. We are descending now down to 13,500 feet, which is what we should be at the VOR, at Paro VOR, and then at 1 mile from the VOR, which is why I set the fix, we will descend down to 12,500 feet until we hit 5 miles, and if we haven't seen the runway by then we go around and go back up to 16,000 feet to head back to Tango Alpha Kilo Tango India, which is the checkpoint that we're just about to arrive at. I will also turn the terrain display on the navigational display, which is the second screen, which is the screen on the right, just directly in front of us. And you'll also hear me turn off the autopilot, and then I'll be flying manually. Luckily today the weather is pretty calm. We have a surface wind at 8 degrees at 8 knots, so it's relatively okay. The visibility today is 9 miles, so we've got plenty of visibility to work with, and we have clear skies, so we should be okay. I'll join you back once we hit the VOR.
Approach checklist.
Beacon status.
Checked.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
Stowed. Cabin signs.
Checked.
Nav accuracy.
Checked.
Bearer reference.
Standard.
Checklist complete.
Okay guys, we just completed the approach checklist. We're going to engage approach mode on the performance.
Flight attendants, prepare for landing.
As we approach the Paro VOR. So I've got the speed brake out to help reduce our speed, so we can engage our flaps and also proceed. We can already see the runway just to our left. I don't know if you can see it. It's very small there, but we'll fly directly over, and also once we hit the 1 mile mark, we will then proceed to descend further. So we are a little bit high, so I'm just going to bring the nose down a little bit. And now I'm going to bring down to 12,500 feet. And we should be at that altitude by the time we hit 5 miles. Okay, so we'll go flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
And you can see the river here. It leads up to the runway, and we're over the VOR, and we can already see the runway there, so that's good. Disconnect the autopilot. Turn off the FD. We're a little bit high.
Transition altitude.
Overspeed.
Barrow reference set and cross-checked. 1016.
101.
It's 12,500 feet.
Lights on.
10,000 feet, so we'll go lights on. Turn everything on so we don't have to configure, because we have to configure the aircraft. We'll make a left turn just after this ridge, just to the left. Then we'll be making a full 360 turnaround in order to get down to the runway. So we'll be landing in the opposite direction to what you can see. The aircraft is overspeeding. Today we are very heavy, so that might be the reason why we're having some troubles with the speed. So I'm holding the altitude now at 11,500 feet, and you can see the speed is decreasing now because we need to get down to flaps 2. So this is the ridge. We'll start our turn once we've passed this ridge. Okay, good speed, flaps 2.
Flaps 2.
And we're making our turn now, keeping our ridge to the left hand side, and also holding the altitude. So this is quite tricky to do on flight sim. I'm sure it's a lot easier to do in real life. Obviously still being a very dangerous approach. So we'll now fly in parallel to the ridge here. We'll go flaps 3. Gear down as well. We need to be in landing configuration before we make the turn, so we're doing that now. We're at a good altitude and good speed, so we need to be below 140 knots before we make the turn. So we're just going to set everything before we make the turn. So we'll make the turn once we hit the end of this ridge here. So we're at 11,000 feet. So when we make the turn, we make a full 180 degree turn within the valley, and we need to descend down to about 9,500 feet. From there on, it's all visual, and we should be able to see the runway and use our visual references, which one of them is a temple, which you'll see once we complete the turn. So now I'm going to start the right turn. It's got to be very steep, and we'll slowly descend the aircraft down to 9,500 feet. Once we get out of this turn, we should be right above a river, which we will then use as a visual aid to bring us down to the airport.
1,000.
We're descending a little bit too quickly there. Just bring the nose up just a tad. And as you can see, we're already in our landing configuration.
1,000. 1,000.
I've made the decision to continue our approach. So there's the river now we're coming up to, so we will shortly be... We need to bring our plane down some more. That's the river we'll be following. So we need to be just to the left of the river.
Landing checklist.
We're going on our landing checklist now.
Landing gear.
Down and locked
Down
and
and
3
locked.
greens.
3 greens.
Ground spoilers.
Checked,
checked and
and armed.
Auto brakes.
Autobrake set medium
Exterior lights.
is all on.
Go around altitude.
It's set, but we don't have it programmed.
Go around altitude. Landing memo.
Checked.
So now
no
there's a
blue.
temple right in front of us,
1000.
which we'll use as a visual reference. We're a little bit lower than we want it to be, but this should be good for us to bring it in. So we're now flying directly above the river. The airport is actually just to our right hand side. So we need to bring the nose down. We'll be following this river around. And I have the runway in sight. I'm sure you can just about see it there. So we'll make a right turn past this ridge and then a left turn to avoid the ridge. So we're making a right turn now for a good altitude, good descent profile.
500.
Just bring the nose around. It's good.
400.
Need to swing the aircraft round again. Bring the nose down.
300.
We're a little high.
200.
And swing the nose around.
100. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30,
And
20.
idle
Retard.
thrust.
5.
Ground
Nice.
spoilers.
Smooth landing.
Reverse screen.
So there we are. That's the approach in a roundabout sort of way. It wasn't the best approach I've done at this airport. I have been
70 knots.
practicing a little bit, but thank you very much for watching this approach. It is a
Manual
very
brakes.
tricky
Auto brakes
approach, and like I said, this is my 100th video. I never realized until a few days ago that this was actually my 100th video. This video has been a bit tricky to start with, getting the audience in, but I thank you guys. I got a lot of new subscribers recently, so I thank you guys for supporting me and watching my videos. I hope that they are good enough. Obviously, if you're subscribing, they must be worth your while watching. I mean, yeah, I've got a little bit of knowledge here and there about
After
various
landing
things.
checklist.
I just complete the checklist.
Exterior lights.
Set.
Ground spoilers.
Set
Disarmed.
off.
Engine mode selector.
Check
Check
normal.
normal.
Flaps.
Check
Flaps are up.
retracted.
TCAS.
TCAS
Check
is off.
standby.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
APU.
Is
On.
on.
Checklist complete.
So like I said, this is Paro. If you want this scenery, it's the Thai creation scenery, which is really fantastic actually. Without this scenery, I wouldn't have been able to to do this approach. But like I said, I did this video because it's a dangerous approach, extreme approach, which to be honest with you, I absolutely love. And if I can use an aircraft like the Airbus, which is one of my favourite aircrafts to fly on the simulator, I'm planning to do some videos with the Dash 8 as well, because I got the Dash 8 Q400, but I'm still sort of learning how to use these flight systems and making sure I can actually program the FMS. Also, I am learning my way through the PMDG 737, so you might see some videos with the PMDG 737 as well. So hopefully got lots of exciting things to come up. It's 2017. It's also today that I'm recording is Chinese New Year, so Kong Yi Fa Chui. And this year is the year of the rooster, so it's the year of prosperity. And I am hoping personally for a prosperous year and a good and hopefully a start to my career soon as well. So once again, I thank you guys for watching. I'm just going to park up the aircraft and I'll let you watch the GSX crew guide me in, and then we'll call it a day. And I hope to see you on another video, maybe train sim or flight sim again, but we'll see what happens.
And the parking checklist.
Parking brake and
Shocks are
shock.
set. Parking brakes released.
Engine master.
Both off.
Seatbelt signs.
Set off.
Beacon lights.
Set off.
Exterior lights.
Checked.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Set off.
Checklist complete.